once we log in games we lit the squadron. Ballin', dodging, these news they hit, we got 'em. Fallin', groveling, so we lit in any room, server or camp. Know what they see us, we stamp. We never lead till we amp, lead till we champ. Beat them advance. We do we think for them when we in it, we kill it and leaving no chance to hell we claim. That's not how we move in the wheel of games. Ultimate gamers and still the change, shaking the industry. Plenty she's winning our team, we some killing bees, killing these niggas while they still we replenish. We load the artillery, hold the hostility, boosting these trophies we win. We in it all line on the grind, opposition and misery. Leaking they dwell, call us the winners cause we never fail. This is the team that's making a wave on the streams, growing and hanging below. Ultimate endgamers league a million degrees, and this is where gamers go pro.
Said that you were there for me, whoa, where you at now? Spin it till I'm dizzy, I get busy till I black out. You throwing stones from a glass house, never feared a thing, I'm a king, I don't back down. Said that you were there for me, whoa, where you at now? Spin it till I'm dizzy, I get busy till I black out. You throwing stones from a glass house, never feared a thing, I'm a king, I don't back down. Fuck the ruckus, I get buckets with the knees. Better duck, I tap the budget for a fee. No questions when I step into the lead. Man of the hour, power forward like Embiid. I lost a couple homies, had to take some time to grieve. Now I'm straight, gotta get it out the gate. Go ahead and fill my plate up. Cleaning makeup off the other pillow when I wake up. Her glasses down to tell her she don't see it when you shade her. When you hear him talking down, does it faze ya? Spend my time inside a booth going crazy. Like, have you heard the latest? Shattering the earth, groundbreaking while I'm faded. Said that you were there for me, bro, where you at now? Spinning till I'm dizzy, I get busy till I black out. You throwing stones from my glass house, never feel the thing, I'm a king, I don't back down. Said that you were there for me, whoa, where you at now? Spin it till I'm dizzy, I get busy till I black out. You throwing stones from a glass house, never feared a thing, I'm a king, I don't back down. Said that you were there for me, whoa, where you at now? Spin it till I'm dizzy, I get busy till I black out. You throwing stones from a glass house, never feared a thing, I'm a king, I don't back down.
I don't back down, Mac back now. I got two hoes looking for me where I'm at now. I'm on a whole nother level, wanna get a brand new bezel. I got 20,000 on me, trying to get another 20 for me. For my bitch, for a brand new flick, ain't no skits. I just keep my shit 100, no bullshit. I got money on my mind, I don't never switch. Since I was a little jit, I'll slap the shit out of a bitch. Don't get disrespectful with me, I be checking how homies. I got too much money that's reflecting off me. So let's reflect, and I be talking to myself. Niggas, time to get this money, time to strap around that belt. Wanna run your mouth and I take that off and I whip your ass myself. I ain't playing around with no game system, I take it, put it on the shelf. I'm on high levels, elevated, pretty bitches think I made it. Now that don't get shit confused, it's me and money, we related.
Said that you were there for me, whoa, where you at now? Spin it till I'm dizzy, I get busy till I black out. You throwing stones from a glass house, never feared a thing, I'm a king, I don't back down. Said that you were there for me, whoa, where you at now? Spin it till I'm dizzy, I get busy till I black out. You throwing stones from a glass house, never feared a thing, I'm a king, I don't back down.
Welcome to the start of the week for the UEL, everybody. We are starting this one off with a very interesting matchup with the Eclipse versus the Bucks. I'm Speedy here with Rex. How you doing, Rex?
Pretty good. Ready to start this week off with a match.
Yeah, match is what some people call it. So what we got here today is a really rough lineup. The Bucks right now are 0-3. And they've got 3 players ready to take it on. So we're not going to see 5v5 competition much today. Even 4v4 is going to be tough. There are a lot of games that are going to be either a struggle or just completely unplayable. But what we're going to have to see from the Bucks in this matchup is what they do have. Yeah. Because Eclipse are going to come out, do their thing. I mean, they took a victory against their already the toughest opponent of the season against the Reapers. So for the rest of the season here, they're just working on, making it through the rest of the roster, getting better. As funny as it is, the Eclipse here, even though they're in a great position, looks like we're going to get the rock, paper, scissors. See who gets first setup. All right, so it's going to be the Eclipse as if they needed another win. As if they needed it. Yeah, so the Bucks here are actually who we're going to be focusing on, I think, the most. I think a lot of people are going to be paying attention to them, even though they're going to be really far on the back foot. So we'll see what we get out of them. And we're going to start off with FC24. So that is a game that the Bucks can play. That's going to be a 2v2 sports game. So let's start with the Bucks. Give us a rundown on these 3 players here.
So we have Baba Yaga, who is first season, right, GM. He's more of a shooter type of player. He plays some of the other games, but shooters are what you're going to be primarily seeing from him. Now we have Mr. Fear. Mr. Fear, to me, is a secondary fighter type of player, right? He's not overly dominant at the fighting games, but he has his few in there, and then he also has like coverage elsewhere. And then you have Solo, who is a rookie, who, from what everything was said, he's a racer.
Okay. All right. So an interesting spread between the 3 of them. So then starting off with a sports game, I mean, it's not something you necessarily have to be specializing in, but it would help if they had somebody who was more accustomed to these. So we'll have to see who they do field for this one and whether it's because they're better at these kinds of games or because they just want to save somebody for another.
If I had to guess, because it's so hard, but I'm guessing the Bucks are going to throw in Baba Yaga and Solo. And on the other side, it's a little bit more tricky because I feel like Rick Fosai is going to go in, and either AJ or Nexus, I would guess they would save Nexus just because he covers so much. But we've seen teams where they're heavily favored like this, where they start running suboptimal lineups in games just to see where people are. So we may end up seeing that, maybe not right off the bat, but a little bit later, where they're like, oh, hey, we're going to run our fighter in for the game that they're not the best on team at, but we want to see where they are as a player.
Right. Yeah. So we will see here how early, they want to start fielding those secondary players in certain categories. So it looks like we're going to start with Baba Yaga and Solo here on the side of the Bucks. They're going to leave Mr. Fear for another category. Just wait to see what this next game is after we start, and we'll see what he's going into. Then we'll get on Eclipse here, who's going to be going in.
So it's going to be AJ and Nexus. Okay.
Interesting.
I did think I expected to see Rick Fosai just because he is, one of the sports players. And then I feel like he has less coverage than Nexus, but they probably just want to start the game off with a bang.
Now let's go into Eclipse here because we've been talking plenty about the Bucks and what an uphill battle this is going to be. But Eclipse, I mean, it's not only that the Bucks are going into this one with 3 players. They are going in against the
chainsaw.
Yeah, the most difficult, the scariest, and most well put together looking team right now from anything that I've seen. I mean, the Reapers play fantastically. They're doing very well this season. They look almost as dominant, but with Eclipse able to take a victory over them, I don't know who's stopping them at this point. So this is a very dynamic, both sides of the table kind of game. We're going to go right into it. So anybody who is really upset about sports season being so quiet right now, UEL is the place to go, apparently.
From football to football.
Yeah. One of them's got a U, one of them's got 2 O's, but we don't really care on this side of the world.
But so the Bucks are the way. They are Solo is gonna be yellow and Baba is gonna be magenta. really getting descriptive. And Nexus is going to be blue and AJ is going to be red. A little
Okay.
less descriptive, but
Huh. Magenta. Who in the control room even knows what that color looks like? All right.
Another interesting thing to consider is that Spring Row has been but Claire, Spring Row, right, has been consistently a game master, but now she's helping out the Bucks. So another thing that we'll be looking for is it's hard in this situation because it's 3 versus 6, but we'll be looking for consistency and not shooting themselves in the foot as much as they can. So just a quick recap. Eclipse is the blue jerseys. And looks like that was Nexus that just scored that. And then the white jerseys will be the Bucks. They're clustered up right now. They're not, well, they weren't really spreading. But that was an easy goal that they missed. Let's see if he's able to take the one-on-one. But good job defending there. And then passing it right into easy go.
And a little bit of style, too, putting the back foot. Looks like they are playing with walls on this one, so we're going to see a lot less stoppage. This game is going to go a lot faster.
Yeah, no, and it looks like the Bucks so far have a idea of what they're supposed to be doing. Now, executing it and having an idea of what you're doing is two separate things. But good job there. You saw how they had the Eclipse up against the wall, gives them less room to pass out. Unfortunately, we weren't able to capitalize off of the takeaway. The Bucks weren't able to capitalize off the takeaway, but looks like right now the Eclipse are kind of running away with this game. Still early on. It's been a minute.
Oh, very interesting pass off the wall. And it looks like in yellow here, that's Solo. It looks like he has a little bit of adapting to the game to do. Some of these shots are going, not only off target, but just ricocheting off walls and such. So it does seem like he's actually got to get some of these controls down. Let's see if he can make this shot. And a nice rebound off the goalie and a shot on goal. They're going to get their first point of the game.
And that's what you're really looking for. Like, I don't know how much he's played, but it's going to be fun to see how he grows. And that's what we're going to be looking for a lot with this game. And then the Bucks taking their opportunities where they can. All right.
Clip's going to clear this one out from their side of the field. Wow, what a style shot. Puts it up in the air just to shoot it right back down. And
just a quick FYI, just for who we're going up against with the Eclipse, you have AJ, who is the sports belt holder, and you have Nexus, who is the rookie of the year, rookie of the season last season.
Okay, so
there's some pedigree there.
Yeah, definitely not a 2v2 you want to run into in a game like this, especially. Yeah, two very talented players. Eclipse is full of them, so it's not like there's really a duo you want to see. But
he looked like he stopped for a second
He
to try
did.
to fake him out, and then he ended up missing the go. All right, but good job passing it back out. Let's see if he's able to get it. Yeah.
Very nice angle. Got himself centered before he took the shot. And they're going to extend this lead by even more. Let's see what the score is here.
7-1.
7-1 now.
We have seen one team score 20 goals. It was, I want to say it was the Wolves that scored 20 goals. So as bad as this score is right now, it's not the most lopsided.
Well, if they can get another one here, they're coming close. But like you said, I mean, at least Bucks have one on the board at this point. Nice cross. The shot should have come out a little faster.
But honestly, if I'm the Bucks and you feel like you aren't winning this, what I do is I use this time as a, hey, even if we don't win, right? I want to play clean the rest of the game. I want to not look sloppy, even if we don't end up winning. I want to see something growth out of this.
Ooh, very nice turnaround into a shot. Had the goalie stuck in place. So now we're going to get 7-2 before the half. Oh, off the crossbar. And halftime's going to come out here. We're going to have 7-2. So a 5-goal deficit for Bucks to make up right now if they have completely learned the game at this point.
Oh, but we did see the ball go out.
Yeah, so
it's possible.
somehow.
All right, so let's see what we have going on here. Good job stopping that. Let's see if he passes out, he probably should pass back just to kind of give himself a better position. And the thing is, yeah, he's able to apply pressure. Yeah, you're able to apply pressure there because you have everybody on one side, right? Everybody was on that left side. Oh man, good stop.
Yeah, the wall did a fantastic job keeping it out of goal there. That was
Hey, that's the fourth defender right there.
So now this lead is going to extend. What are we looking at? 8-2 now, I believe. 6-goal deficit for the Bucks.
Oh, good. Hey, 5-goal deficit.
There you go, 5-goal deficit. They're bringing it back. And if they can move that quick all the time, they can make a comeback here. But they're on most offenses taking a lot of time to get something going.
Oh,
So
that's a goal. That's
It is. It is. We're 8-4 now. I mean, this is not a finished game anymore. If they can keep moving this quickly,
just play clean.
Yeah.
Don't over.
Or just get a half-field shot. So Eclipse gonna try to make sure no comeback is coming in here.
Keep that foot on the gas.
Tried to do the same thing.
All right, so let's see. Stay back, defend. Let's see if he's able to keep it. Yep, he's able to keep it out of there. But it looks like there was a penalty.
Got fouled.
All right. Doing a good job if you pass it out and shoot. Yep. I mean, it's hard because they're fighting. Like they're keeping that fight in them. It's just at this point, time is against them. Let's see how much time is left exactly. Yeah, you have about a minute and a half, in what should be an easy go. So 11-4.
Yeah.
So right now you really have to, if you want to stand a chance, you have to press the tempo.
Nice ball control there. They're kind of a little bit too quick on the passes, but they are kind of getting control of how to keep the ball away from the defenders and not get it taken out from their feet every single time.
But I mean, this is one of those things that we'll see how the team grows, because so much of this is synergy. You know, especially if you're not really talking, you want to
Passed it to the net, and that'll be a goal.
All right, so let's.
Should have about a minute 20 left or so. Yeah, minute 14.
It's hard to win at this point, but you can at least make the game less ugly.
Yeah. Let's see.
It looks like they're playing a little bit more defensive now. Maybe they just want this game to be over. Oh, and then that should be a goal. Oh, but he's able to. All right.
They're going for style plays at this point. When you have a 9-point lead with a minute left in the game, it's bound to happen. But we'll see. There's some more offense coming out from the Bucks here. They're not going down without a fight.
No, and that's what you want to see, right? Even down to only 3 people, you want to see them, you know, have that mentality of we're not going to back down. We're down to only 3 people versus the best team in the league. You want to see them not give up, right? We've had for so many seasons. Now, I know you weren't here for them, but for so many seasons, teams were almost afraid to play against Eclipse because of how good and dominant they were. And now you see teams a little bit less afraid, less hesitant to challenge them. But let's see if they go for another go here. And
I mean, challenge or not, Eclipse are still dominant.
Yeah.
So it's pretty impressive that even when they're getting it kind of, you know, straight at the face from everybody else, they could fight off that aggression. So yeah, it's nice to see they could play both ways. They could either strike fear into their opponents, or they could just win against anyone who's not afraid of them. So that will be a pretty decisive win on game 1. We saw a couple goals come out early on. It seemed like the steam burned out at some point. Once the aggression stopped coming out from Eclipse, that's when there was, there was no way to stop the defense.
But now we have Madden, and I want to say Madden, obviously Fear has to go in. We're really going to see Solo or Baba Yaga again. I'm guessing Baba Yaga. if it's who I guess now I feel like we have to see Rick Fosai for this. But
Oh.
who they put next to him, I feel like I don't know. It's hard. Like I feel like you put Snappy in here maybe, but it's gonna be Rick Fosai and somebody. But I mean, we'll see what game plan they have with Madden. Baba Yagan seem to at least understand how to play sports games conceptually, so
Mhm.
and that's a big thing.
Yeah, I would assume it's Baba Yaga coming back out based on. I mean, it depends. Maybe Solo is better at Madden than he is at FC, but
Yeah.
it seemed like the if that speaks about all sports games for him, then he's not quite in there. So, and we'll see which one of them is going in here. It looks like we're actually getting the lineup. So, yep, there it is. It's going to be Baba Yaga. So Solo is going to be sat out and reserved for the next game, and then we will see what we're getting on the other side. So, if there was some chance, some way that Bucks are able to take some kind of game or category in this matchup, what is it going to be?
It's hard because there's so many. Every category has a 5v5 game. It's really hard because okay, you look at fighters, right? A lot of the fighters have a decent amount of people available, right? So Street Fighter, you're going to have either Chicken Tech available or you're going to have Pit Boy available, right? So then you go over to what the Bucks will want to try. The Bucks' best category as a team is shooters, right?
Okay.
But you're going up against Eclipse,
Mhm.
and that's a hard team to kind of contest shooters with. I think they could take. It's hard because racers potentially, because they get to build off of maybe solos, but then even the racers, right? Like the Need for Speed Direct Fest. Maybe some of these strategy games, you take Pokemon, you take Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, you could hope. How do you do that? How do you do that? There's still 31 games on the wheel at this point. How do you do that? I mean, it's consistent with you. If you say the name of a game, it'll come out on the wheel. It's
what I do like though is okay. So do you remember the last time we were, or maybe it wasn't with you, but one of the few times that I've commentated Yu-Gi-Oh, there's been somebody that kind of spoke over us that came from the side.
Yes.
That was Spring Roll's boyfriend, who is probably helping the Bucks today. So with his knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh, that potentially could be a win. But we have the Bucks as the Chiefs and the Clips as the 49ers. I don't. So I get why people pick the Chiefs because in the past, the Chiefs have been a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're a great team in real life. Obviously, they just won a Super Bowl against the 49ers.
They're pretty all right.
But in Madden, it's just because you don't have receivers to really throw to, right? In the past, you've had Tyreek Hill, which is one of the fastest, if not the fastest wide receiver.
Yeah.
But in this iteration, you're going to have to use a lot more. Like it's a lot of getting the scheming players open, right? And with how not great some of their receivers are, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Their run game isn't the best. So essentially with the Chiefs, almost everything you want to do with the Chiefs, you can do with somebody else better.
Right.
Not the Chiefs probably have the best quarterback, but then like there's so much else that makes up the team. Yeah. But now we're seeing that the Eclipse are Rick Fosai on quarterback. Just running the ball. And honestly, if I'm playing against a team and I don't think they know what they're doing as well, is I'm shortening the game and forcing them to make a mistake. Because the longer the game goes on, the more they look at the clock, the more pressure is on them to, I need to make it, like, I need to make the most of every opportunity. They're going to force something, and then it just snowballs.
Yeah. In a 2v2 game like this, sometimes that's hard to do because you think of a team that's only fielding 3 players as being on the back foot or being down, but this is a 2v2 game. They have enough players to play something like this. So
2v2 games right off the bat, and then a 1v1.
Yeah. So far they're starting off with games they can compete.
That should have been pick six. That should have been pick six. That should have been a score for the Bucks coming back.
Yeah, tipped right off the fingers, didn't stop in place, wasn't able to get set for the pick, but It's a stop nonetheless. You know, we're going to be on third down now, so you're in a situation that you're probably pretty okay with anyway. Just got to make one more stop. Although it is Madden and not real football, so maybe you do have to make another stop here.
Oh, and they're going
Yeah,
for
there
it.
you go. They're going to just rapid fire this fourth down.
And oh,
And
is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it?
I think they got it. That's going to be
They
first
got
down.
that
so
was so close to them.
that was dangerous for sure. But yeah, I mean, some good athletics there. Good call on when to get over the defenders over the line. So they get the first down, and they're going to get set for another set of downs now. So with the game being like this, we've talked before about how this limited clock, you can kind of really, really run the clock down to the point where each team really only gets one drive.
Yeah.
So you're playing a game of inches if you keep this running game going. But we're gonna see some yards gained here for sure. That was 22-yard play. That was nice. So they're going to make their way up the field now and start quickening this first quarter.
I mean, it seems like the Bucks have a fundamental idea of what they're doing. It's just with this, like you said, this is a game of inches. Like if that batted down pass was an interception, which I figured it looked like it was going to be an interception, that would have been a touchdown. If he's going to pass to, let's see what he's able to do. Don't get fumbled here, because there's too many things that could go wrong. And I don't know how good Brock Purdy is at holding on to the ball.
Right. There's plenty of stuff he's good at, but not fumbling
that
isn't something people give him credit for. Second and 13. So a loss of 3. It looked like they were looking toward the at least first down, if not end zone at this point anyway. So it looks like they want to go for big plays now. They want to stop running McCaffrey. So,
I mean, if you're looking at it, the Chiefs are pretty much running the same defense over and over again, and you can exploit that, right? Like they're running that cover 2, attack the middle of the field. It's, a lot of it is to prevent some of those deep passes, but there's no such thing as the perfect defense. There's always a gap somewhere. So if you can't run the same thing over and over again, because if you call the same play, you'd have to be able to adjust out of it. Now they look like they're running a single high safety, so they're exploitable for the deep ball here. So let's see if the 49ers take advantage of that. Nope, and they're just gonna run. And we're in the second quarter.
yeah.
They could get it down to the point where they either don't get the ball back or they get it back with not enough time to really make anything of it.
Yeah. So the whole second quarter still left for them to push up, but pretty much going to take the entire first half of the game to make this drive. There's definitely a chance for them to give a little bit more time, but another play action, and we're going to see those hands just knock it out there in time.
You look at AJ, but you had the running back on the right side wide open, and sometimes you just have to take. Now, granted, that wasn't a bad play, just a little bit inaccurate, but
yeah, a little bit too early with the release, but
he was rushed there at that point. If he didn't let go of it, then he was going to get hit. All right, rolling out. What is he going to do? B. Yep, he's going to pass it to B.
Oh, and this...
And that's a difficult thing when you have a quarterback that moves out of the pocket, because you have to think, oh, do I take him? And if I take him, I'm coming off my man. And then now that's an easy pass like we saw earlier, that defender start to push up towards him. Now, Brock Purdy, not known to be the most athletic quarterback. You start seeing that with a quarterback like, say, Lamar Jackson. But they're going to have about 2 minutes to score, assuming they score on this play right here. Oh, nope. Okay. So apparently they decide not to play defense.
All right, the game's not over yet. The first half's not even over yet. So.
I mean, yeah, no. If Dalton really, Bobby Yoggins really good with it on offense, because some people are just great on offense and horrible on defense. If he's able to get the ball down the field, get either a touchdown or a field goal, he could flip the script in the second half and drain the clock like they've been draining and get a last-second touchdown. there's a lot of mind games to be had here.
Yeah. And they set up a pretty good defense as well. I mean, they are playing the Chiefs, so it's not difficult to have a good defense. But yeah, they set up a pretty good defense. And a lot of those, we didn't see a lot of first down into a new set of downs. It was a lot of second and third downs coming through. So they were making stops. They weren't yet letting really big plays come out. So if they can make these big plays happen, that they weren't allowing Eclipse to get out, then they can make this a lot quicker of a drive and give themselves better chance at getting the lead in the next half when they start with the ball.
And this is where this might be a little bit of an issue, is because the Chiefs historically, the Chiefs with Mahomes historically have been a deep kind of play offense, but since they've lost Tyreek Hill, they've lost some of that explosiveness. So they're more of a go down the field type of use the run game, help set up the play action and scheme them open. But it looks like if they're running something like 4 deep, they have opportunities here for a deep pass. But 3rd and 9, and if they're not careful here, they'll give the 49ers a chance to get the ball back with a decent amount of time to score. So they need a first down here, if for anything but to keep the ball out of the hands of. Yep. Okay, good.
All right, good. For a second, I thought he didn't hold.
No,
on to that one.
no, he didn't.
He didn't. Oh,
no. It looked like it at first until I saw the down and distance.
Oh wow, yeah, he actually didn't hold on to it. That's with the 9. Yeah, probably a smart play here. Make sure they don't get another scoring drive, because you will get the ball back if you just hold a decent defense.
Yeah, if you can stop them on defense, you're at an even game essentially, because you get the ball back at. Oh wow, what was that out at?
Did it say 3-yard line?
I don't know. I have to look, because if that bounced out before it hit the end zone, that was a super favorable bounce.
Yeah, really. It did look like it was coming toward the camera. That might have gone through the end zone. So
we're going to see in a second here. Oh wow, yeah, that was
it was at the 3.
That was an amazing bounce. Also, good job giving themselves some breathing room right there. I wonder if they're going to run like a play action out of that. Nope, they're still running.
We're already at 3rd and 4, so they're trying to turn it around real quick.
I mean, the Chiefs could do the same thing, call a timeout here and get the ball back. So we'll see what they opt to do here. Or so they're going to do play action crosses, like I promise you. We're going to see a lot of action on the left side, if I had to guess. I can't see them running the ball again here, but they're going to go for a deep route here. I guess I was wrong.
They just want to try to run it down. I don't think they want to give any opportunity for like a close pick. So I think they were just trying to run the clock down with those plays. I mean, they certainly did want a first down, but it seems like they preferred getting to 4th and 2 over giving the ball away on a pickoff that close to the end zone.
And I mean, honestly, that punt really did help the Bucks out, because you pushed them so far back that they didn't have any breathing room. Let's see if he's able to run that back. All right. They're about the 8-yard line. Not 8-yard line. Sorry, they have about 8 seconds left. So they're probably going to go for something. They don't necessarily, it doesn't have to be super quick, but it has to be within 7 seconds. Go down, call the timeout. Because I don't think you go for a Hail Mary here.
It was only 6 seconds on the clock, actually. So it's a little rougher to make a second play out of. But are they going to get it, or is that halftime?
That should be halftime.
That's half.
So they'll be getting the ball back here, and that's the biggest thing, that they're getting the ball back and us allowing them the opportunity to just tie the game up. I mean, because honestly, they don't have to. If they play this out correctly, the Eclipse gets the ball with like almost no time to play, and then it goes into overtime, and then we see the 49ers and the Chiefs in overtime again.
Yeah, again. Just in case anybody wanted to repeat a Sunday.
So let's see. All we just need now is Travis Kelce yelling at Andy Reid, and we'll have a game.
Yeah.
Are they blitzing here? All right, let's see what we have here, and wide open to check. Yep. And that's what they just need to do. They just need to keep doing that, drive the ball down the field, because from what it looks like, the Clips, while they're winning, they're not dominating the game. Like their offense isn't looking super spectacular, and their defense at times can be had.
Yeah, they got stopped right in front of their own end zone. So
Yeah.
pushed to a 4th and 2. So
Let's see what we have going on here. Yep,
Ooh,
run it to
nice
the outside.
route.
And that's all you need, right? Like, you don't need to do anything. That's the thing that to do with some of these games that if you're not comfortable with, is keep it simple. Like, don't do anything too crazy. Don't press a button that you don't know for certain what it does. You can win a lot of these games in the league by just playing it simple.
Yeah.
All right. And it looks like that's what the plan is.
Yeah, they weren't caught so easily that time.
Yeah.
You can't take that outside again. So
Yeah,
they switch it up.
Yeah, they were able to tee off of it. And honestly, this point, this is where you call that play action. You have the linebacker, because even if a player, for instance, knows that it's going to be a play action, you still have all these other people. That's in. Okay, yep.
Ooh, can't be doing that. They were making decent, small, short distances up the field, and they made an attempt for first to first. Not gonna happen. Or I think that might have been on 2nd down, but
Yeah,
that's
a longer
rough.
pass than what they've been doing.
Yeah, we were talking about how Eclipse weren't necessarily dominating this game, but that might be about to change right now. We'll see. That'll be the first turnover, the first forced turnover of the game. So,
And honestly, they're probably not going to really put the ball. I'm going to say not put the ball in the air, but here we are. They're going to do a lot of the safer passes, like safer plays, just to get them. Because they can play time, right? Kill as much time as you can, and then get a field goal, and that almost wraps it up.
yeah, at this point, if they, either way, field goal or
Killing the
a
clock.
touchdown here, or killing the clock. Yeah, I don't know if you have quite enough time to run that clock all the way down this close to the end zone. I don't even know if you can get enough 4th downs to, keep the game going. But yeah, if they can get another touchdown here, it's gonna be such a difficult, final quarter push for the Bucks.
The Bucks would need a turnover right here.
Definitely. They need a turnover and a scoring play for any kind of opportunity. They got to show some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, some sort of pathway to winning one of these games.
And we might see it first with Yu-Gi-Oh! All right, but don't. Okay, so they're not fumbling the ball. And that makes you go think back to, like, I think it was the second play of the game where they had the opportunity for that pick 6, and this is a completely different game with that pick 6.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's just tough. There's a lot of opportunities that have been missed, but it's like in sports games like this, a lot of it really is left up to whether the game decides a player gets his hands on the ball or not. And it's just it's a little bit unfortunate that Eclipse are the team that are getting lucky with that, because they really don't need it that much even to win. So Bucks are definitely getting the odds stacked against them, but
May the odds be ever in your favor.
yeah. Heading into the 4th quarter here, and still possession of the ball for the Eclipse on the 49ers. They're coming close to the end zone.
They need a turnover right here. Because they can't, well, I mean, they could let them kick a field goal and it's still a route to win. But this game becomes drastically harder if they make this field goal or a touchdown.
Yeah, if they can get an interception here, then
Fumble.
we're looking at like a possible overtime,
Yeah.
which would be really nice for, that's their fighting way back in. That's really their only opportunity right now. That's what they have to do. Of course, they could, if they wanted to be insane people, they can go for the 2, but I think I'd take, I don't know. I mean, judging by the way this game's been going, maybe I don't want to take it overtime.
Yeah, you might want to they're opting to, so you have the receiver on the right. Wait, does he? Oh, he pushed. He got pushed forward.
Pushed forward.
'Cause
He
that-
almost didn't cross the marker. And this should be an end zone push right here. No, they're gonna stop him, sweep the legs out. So, but at this point, are you
That was
just
really
running
risky.
your own clock down more. I guess you have to get a full stop here. You have to make it a field goal. But yeah, they're just. It looks like Eclipse are not gonna put the ball in the air.
I mean, smart. Like,
Mhm.
you don't have to win by a lot. You just have to win.
Yeah, because the only way you lose this game is if you get picked off at this point.
Turnover of any sort.
Right.
Yeah.
And McCaffrey's probably going to keep his hands on the ball, especially if you're going to get a touchdown. So,
Yeah. All right, so that is a touchdown. So still light at the end of the tunnel for the Bucks. They just need to get a touchdown, onside kick, and a touchdown.
sounds like you're setting up for a joke there.
No.
I mean, with 2 minutes remaining, judging by the way their other.
Hey, maybe they get
Drives
a return right here.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's possible. See if you can get that
No,
fancy
fair
footwork.
call.
No.
Fair call. Oof. I mean, Mahomes, we trust.
Gonna have to.
So at this point, I wonder what kind of defense, if they're just gonna be playing like a nickel, some kind of prevent, just to keep them from throwing deep.
Yeah, it's called the 3-man on Travis Kelce route.
He's one of the few people that can catch consistently.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I think if he waited for that to develop a little bit more, he would have had him more to the outside.
Mm-hmm. Maybe even more in the air as you got further down the field. So wouldn't have been able to get tipped like that, but it does, and we're on 2nd and 10. 2 minutes remaining in the final quarter of the game.
And
That's going to be a lot of lost yards, an 11-yard loss on that sack. So now we're talking about like a Hail Mary game.
Yeah.
Like at this point, you have to just put that ball down the field at every opportunity. Probably go for a first down here and then start lobbing it.
Yeah, you can't look at the last play. You can't look at the mistakes. You just gotta shake it off real quick. And all right, so I mean, you have to you have to go for it. You kick that you punt the ball, and you're admitting defeat. You're conceding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go full punter run for a first down right now.
All right, moving on. I don't like that play. I don't have any idea why you do that.
No, in my opinion, the yards after catch at this point are not significant enough for either team for me to believe that I could take that from a 2-point pass into a 19-yard run.
I get if it was like a 2nd and long, or maybe potentially even a 3rd, but on a I have to have it situation.
Yeah. Now you go long on that for sure. And they're going to run McCaffrey again, try to get him to the outside. Didn't spin in, surprisingly. If he spun in, that'd be a touchdown.
But he stayed in bounds, which was the big thing. I wonder if they're just going to try to score again.
They're almost there. No huddle. Because they're just going to run it again and try to jump over. Ooh, and he's in.
Yep. Hey, Rick Fosai.
3 touchdowns. We got 40 seconds left in the game. That's a done deal. At this point, Bucks just get some points on the board. Go for a field goal.
Yeah, don't get shut out. Win any way that you get points any way that you can.
Yeah, 33 seconds left. It looks like. Oh no, sorry, 40. That was a 33-second drive because they got it so close to the end zone.
They practically got it in the red zone.
They did. They got it. Yeah.
All right.
Anywhere the Chiefs are set up is the red zone.
The way this game's been going.
Yeah, and I mean, the first half of this game, Bucks played a decent defense, honestly.
Oh, wait.
Oh, my goodness.
Kickoff return. Let's go.
That's what we were talking about.
Oh, no.
Don't do that. You're losing.
You look at Spring Roll behind.
Oh, my goodness. That's points on the board, though. That's what you need. We said go for a field goal. They just got a
Hey, no, I said kick return. Return to kick.
That was awesome.
Is that the first kick return we've seen in the league this season? Somebody in chat, let me know. I don't remember another one. Come on, you gotta do the punt or you gotta do the onside kick.
Yeah, I know that is a little bit weird that they didn't at least try for it, but what do you have to lose at that point?
They're like, okay, I can stand losing 21-7, but I don't want to lose at 28-7. that was their philosophy.
They want it to be a 2-possession game, not a 3.
Hey, we lost, but it was close.
Yeah. I guess in Madden, 2 possessions is close, right? You play in 3-minute quarters. It's like, we didn't have that much time to bring it back. If you gave us more time.
Oh my god! And he got drug out of bounds, so that's gonna stop the clock.
So we get more Madden.
Hey.
What do we have coming up? Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh coming up next.
2 sports and then.
Oh my god, we have to commentate it. We don't have any assistants. All right, there better be 2 Exodia decks. Ooh,
hey.
Okay.
And on that,
What?
Madden has some of the funniest animations.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so we want to see either Solo in for Yu-Gi-Oh, or we're going to see Fear.
That's true, yeah. Oh, did you hear that?
What?
I think I just heard Fear. You're on Yu-Gi-Oh. Is that what I just heard?
Oh, I thought I heard Fear. So
right? Is that what? I think somebody just yelled that out there. I think we got a little bit of an early sneak peek. We might be getting him on Yu-Gi-Oh.
And they do get Chicken Tech in here for Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, I would imagine out of the 2, he's piloted the game more. So I imagine maybe they're a little bit more comfortable. And this is where the Bucks can really take a point. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. With this lineup, what other game would they have wanted? Oh, if they put so here's another way. Oh, they put Pip-Boy.
Okay.
So I was gonna say if they had put Chicken Tech in, and F1 was the next game, Solo could potentially take that. I think it'll still be an interesting match, even with Solo versus Chicken Tech.
Such particular situations you have to get just to try to get the Bucks a win here.
All right, so let's see what game we got. Please be F1.
That would make things interesting. All right, we've got Momo hopping on the mic to help. But wait, oh, Forza.
Yeah,
dude. For a second, I thought you did it again.
Hello.
All right, there he is. How's it going, Momo?
All right, so this is Eclipse. What we're watching. They're playing Dark Magician. Starting out with the ritual, the Illusion of Chaos. So this is going to let them add a Dark Magician card from their hand to their deck, and it lets them return something to the bottom of their deck. Most likely, it's the Magician Souls. So the way that this deck works is it's all old Yu-Gi-Oh boomer bait. It's
yes, just what we like. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Dark Magician.
For those of us over 30.
Yeah. So this card, Magician's Rod, lets them add spell traps, but it's going to be negated. Infinite Impermanence is going to negate its effect on board, so this card's not going to do much of anything. Looking at the rest of their hand's actually potentially kind of rough. There's not much else the Eclipse can do. There's this spell which will help them either summon this Illusion of Chaos, which doesn't really do too much, but it could let them fusion summon. I'm going to be completely honest, the fusion monsters of Dark Magicians, not the best things in the world, and it may be that they elect not to even go for it.
All right, and so old school Yu-Gi-Oh, their game plan is just to take out the life points. No other kind of trickery. Just get your strong monsters out on the field and beat that other strong monster.
Pretty much, it's Dark Magician. It's summon Dark Magician, and then on your next turn, summon another Dark Magician, and just do that over and over and over.
Any Dark Magician girls or?
There is, yes. Their fusion. There's a couple fusion monsters in their deck. Lets them fuse with a dragon and Dark Magician Girl into a pretty decent beat stick. But for now, they're just gonna make the Magician Illusion to Chaos play. and they're just gonna pass. So on this side, over on the box, we're watching Dragon Maid. Dragon Maid is a fusion and almost kind of a Link archetype. It's trying to set up a big 3,500 attack point monster called Dragon Maid Xiao. It is a negate that lets him float into a bunch of things, and then it's just going to be met with Eclipse, and I believe this card just summons a Dark Magician, and I believe it's Send.
All right. So how is the hand looking for the Bucks in your opinion?
So here, there's a couple things that can be done. So Eclipse is just going to be summoning Dark Magician, Parlor Dragon Maid. So this is going to send any Dragon Maid card from their deck to their graveyard. Here, you generally send Dragon Maid Tidying, which they have 2 of in hand. So the Hands of the Buck it's kind of weird. You can send Chamber. So, card that they're trying to probably going to activate next is card in hand is Hospitality, which would let them bring back the changeover. They decide to go for it, and they are, I believe so. Chamber in graveyard. This lets them add any Dragon Maid spell track to hand. So they're gonna activate this effect. Here is kind of an interesting one. Looking like the Eclipse is potentially trying to negate the effect. Would just return the Illusion to Chaos to hand. Go for a negate. Pretty good play. This will leave Eclipse just summoning as said, just summon Dark Magician. It's Dark Magician into Dark Magician and all the Dark Magicians. It leaves them in a pretty good spot with a bunch of big Dark Magicians on board, and the Bucks don't have too much of things to do afterwards.
So you'll say early analysis, this would be the Eclipse with the
Eclipse kind of have the upper hand here. Next turn, they're going to be able to activate that Illusion to Chaos another time, go search for something, probably grabbing the Magician's Souls, and then trying to facilitate a lot of hard-to-break removal using the summoning of Dark Magician. So, their resource loop, Dark Magician, when they summon Dark Magicians with a card called, I forget what it's called. It's the Circle. It's the main, it's the main spell card of the deck. Lets them, when a Dark Magician is summoned, and there's the Dark Magician Girl. When a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl is summoned, lets you banish a card the opponent controls. And so every turn you're just summoning a bunch of Dark Magicians, including as last turn, and so you're just removing pieces of your opponent's board. So, activating the Illusion of Chaos. This here, Dragon Maid Tidying. This lets them return things to opponent's hands and cards to hand, and it has an effect in graveyard, which lets you reborn a card in your graveyard. So, chain Striker Dragon, or return the Striker Dragon to their hand, and they possibly could return returning a card in graveyard would be kind of a bad idea, because that's something that Eclipse wants right now. So they could return a Dark Magician to their hand to shave off 2,500 attack. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. It's pretty good.
Alright.
And so here, Eclipse, see what they're going to try to add. Just going to add another Magician card. And they're going to put another card on the bottom of their deck. Probably here. Losing Chaos.
And is there any card that either side could really get at this point that will kind of flip the script?
So that's kind of what we're going to watch right about now. So, if the Dark Magician player decides to go for either the Soul Servant or, so Magician's Salvation is going to get the other card that's really good here, which is Eternal Soul. This is going to start pumping advantage in Eclipse's favor pretty rapidly. Right now, they're already favored. They have 4,100 attack points on board. And right now, they probably just proceed to combat, deal 41.
And then that's more than half. So after the move to the battle phase, and then after this turn, if the Bucks aren't able to do anything to really either stall or
Yeah.
mitigate the damage, then so it really depends on what they draw here, right?
It really does. There's a couple really good draws.
Hmm.
Dragon Maid Changeover is one of those incredible draws. So, there's a couple lines of play that can be done here. So, activate Dragon Maid Tiding and then return any of the dragons from their graveyard, trigger their effects, and go get a bunch of cool stuff. That is a really good opening right now to activate this Tiding effect. So, the only thing that Eclipse can do right now is flip over that Eternal Soul, which will let them add, in their case, because they don't have that other circle, just add some removal spells to their hand. There's a card called Thousand Knives and Dark Magic Attack. One destroys spell traps, one destroys monster effects, or monsters. But none of them can be used right away right now, so good for them, not crazy. So they're going to Tiding, they're going to turn Chamber.
Put someone in a defense position.
Yep.
So at this point, the Dark Magician has to be the one that destroys that card because the other card doesn't have enough power to destroy that defense position monster.
As current, but what we're probably going to see is if they decide to normal summon the monster in their hand, this Black Metal Dragon, it will let them add a big 30 or 3,000 attack point monster to their hand, and they're going to use that as fusion material to summon the boss monster of this deck, Dragonman Xiao. And if they do that, and Eclipse does not flip Eternal Soul by then it's going to be all over for Eclipse. Eternal Soul has this tiny restriction on it that if the card is destroyed, you destroy all the cards on your field.
Wow.
So you blow up all of your stuff. So
The heart of the deck.
pretty much, yeah. It's an individually incredibly powerful card, constant recursion on both your turn and your opponent's turn.
Go
pair
big
that-
or go home.
Pair that with another flashy card, it's constant removal. But at this moment, it's not going to do anything, and it also blows up all your stuff. So who knows?
All right.
So-
So let's see what the Bucks are able to do.
So they're going to go for Dragon Maid Changeover. So this is not going to create the boss monster. This is going to create a different card called House Dragon Maid. Assuming they use the monsters on board. It could be really funny and summon Trish, which is a terrible idea.
And it's a 27.
He's looking at it.
So what this monster would do is on summon, you can banish cards from your opponent's extra deck, and that is what they're going to go for.
So for somebody who's not as familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yes.
what's the difference between an extra deck and your regular deck?
So your regular deck is a deck comprised of between 40 and 60 cards that you can run 3 cards of a name of it. This is everything that you've seen so far. But there is also, on the left-hand side of the screen, there is a little extra deck. It is comprised of 15 cards of a couple different summoning mechanics. There's Fusion, Synchro, Link, and Xyz. And you can have 15 cards in that extra deck. Generally, a lot of the decks in the game will use their main deck cards to summon out big, powerful monsters from that extra deck. And here, they are going to be banishing something from their deck.
Agree. Destroys. Okay. So when you said there's a restriction as to the 3 cards of the same name, that doesn't include cards that have the same name based on the effect, right? Because I remember there's Cybertech Dragon, but there's also Cybertech Proto Dragon, I want to say, which takes the name of Cybertech Dragon.
There's a couple weird restrictions in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, the way that the game sees the name of something is, if in deck the card is a name, then you can only have 3 of that. So, for Cyber Dragon, all of those cards are named Cyber Dragon, but they're only named Cyber Dragon when on the field or sometimes in the graveyard.
Okay.
They're never named Cyber Dragon in deck. there are a couple cards, an archetype called the Harpies,
Oh,
which
I love the Harpies.
a lot of the old ones, like Cyber Harpy Lady, Harpy Lady 1, Harpy Lady 2,
Yeah.
some of them have the restriction on this card's name is always Harpy Lady, which means you can only end up playing
3 of them.
if you had, say, one regular Harpy Lady, one Harpy Lady 1, and a Cyber Harpy Lady, you couldn't play a second Cyber Harpy Lady because they're always named
Harpy
Harpy
Lady.
Lady.
Okay.
Yeah. But for 99% of decks, this does not come up. And it's a philosophy of really old build design back when Yu-Gi-Oh! First came out back in like 2002 kind of time frame. But nowadays, if a card is a different name, it's usually just on field or in graveyard as opposed to in deck.
That's a really interesting thing to consider because, like I said, I played it, but it was like 20 years ago.
And so what we're looking at now, this is the Eclipse turn. They just summoned a monster called TMS. So it's a pretty cool card. You can send Spellcaster from your field to graveyard, special summon this 2800 attack monster. But the main effect of it is it allows you to fusion summon monsters using either Dark Magicians and itself. And this lets the Dark Magician player get into a lot of boss monsters.
And there was one you said that they want to, the main goal is to summon one that has 3,500 attack.
That was on the Buck side.
Oh, that was on the Buck side. Okay.
Eclipse, generally, Dark Magician doesn't go into its extra deck. It's usually through monsters like Tiamat or the one spell card that we saw earlier that let them summon the Illusion of Chaos. Generally, they don't touch it. They just care about summoning Dark Magician.
You get a Dark Magician. You get a Dark Magician. Pot of Great, so they're able to draw 2 more cards. Yeah.
That's definitely what they needed.
Yeah, I'd agree to really good off the top. There is a lot of things they can do. The one really good thing about the Dragon Maid deck, which the Bucks are running, is there's a lot of advantage that the deck can make. Chamber off the top is a pretty good draw. He's gonna
Summon attack position.
yeah, it's gonna be kind of interesting. There's a couple ways they could be navigating this. Realistically, they should be grabbing hospitality because they already have a changeover, but they can get it as well. They're gonna just go for this change over here, and this should be House Dragon Maid as opposed to the Trishula that we just recently saw. So, House Dragon Maid, pretty cool effect. Just that right now, because there aren't other Dragon Maids on board that are trying to return themselves if they can, it's just big 3,000 attack monster.
Wow, and that's stronger than anything he has on his side.
As current.
That's current, yeah.
Once Tiamat decides to go for the extra deck summon, there's a lot that they could go into that could be bigger than this House Dragon Maid. Or there should be monsters in there that can't be destroyed by battle at all. So it's going to be really tough for Dragon Maid to get over.
It's her versus the world at this point.
Yeah. They're just going to go attack into Tiamat.
They're going to lose about 200 life points here.
Yep. Tiamat's getting destroyed. Both teams, I would not necessarily playing optimally. So here, the effect in Graveyard should be the Tidying, because it's the only card that you can activate as spell speed 2. So it would just let them summon one of their Dragon Maids from their graveyard. There's a couple good targets. They could get back that Parlor, constantly be sending other Tidyings. They could even Tidying out a 2,700 attack point dragon that's currently in their graveyard. Yeah.
Alright, so now we're watching from the Eclipse perspective. Let's see what card they draw here.
And the best card that they could possibly draw this year, Dark Magician Circle. So, the loop that Dark Magician has. The trap card that's currently set, Eternal Soul. And this card, Dark Magic Circle. So, on activation, it's going to look at the top 3 cards of its library, and will add any card that says Dark Magician. Most of the cards in the deck say Dark Magician, so this just is basically a free draw one. And it lets them stack the deck based on the other two, however they want to be put in. And all things they could grab. Grab an Eye of Tiamat to try to fusion summon some monsters. Grab Soul Servant to try to get other cards from deck. Trap card, pretty good, but kind of your kind of gravy. You don't need it. Add Tiamat to hand, and then oh, they just canceled. They added the trap instead. Very funny. But now this circle. Whenever a Dark Magician is summoned, it'll let them banish a card the opponent controls.
On the field?
On field.
Oh
And
boy.
we're going to be using Eternal Soul to summon a Dark Magician right now. So, Eternal Soul, once a turn, you may summon a Dark Magician either from your hand or your graveyard. It also has a second effect where you can add either Thousand Knives or Dark Magic attack. But for now, we summon Dark Magician.
He banished that monster on the other side of the field.
This banish either this house or the back row, depending on what you're afraid of.
And you could probably attack directly after this, right?
Yes. This is your Magician's Salvation. So, since a Dark Magician got summoned, it will let them summon a Dark Magician girl from deck.
Wouldn't that allow the effect to go off again and he'd be able to destroy both cards on the opposite side? Banish both?
It would. Dark Magic Circle is just a once per turn, though.
Ah.
Not that broken. It's good, but it's not. It's not that good.
Okay. Well, I'm about to say this because that snowballs extremely quickly.
Oh yeah, no, it would be wild. Additionally, the field spell is also a once per turn, so they summoned a Dark Magician girl. They can't then summon a Dark Magician, because that's how that card works. You summon one, get the other, and you just go in tandem. Using Tiding to get changeover. This is still for the Eclipse turn, but this may be the only way that they can actually stave off all of this damage. What doesn't actually look like it, I think, because at 2200. Okay, though, return it to hand, and they're going to summon Lorper. This is the 2700 I was talking about.
Okay.
He's just a guy. He's just big. He's just big. He's just here. Now Dark Magician can't get over it. So they're just probably going to proceed to the end phase. We can change position rods. That's funny. Then let's go to the next turn.
Let's see what he's able to do here.
Don't believe there's any tidings in Grave.
Mystical Space.
Ooh.
So they're able to destroy
This-
one of those spell or trap cards on the field
This will destroy the Eternal Soul. And remember that little contingency I was talking about?
where it blows up everything.
It'll blow up everything.
Whoa.
Yeah. If that happens, it's gonna massively swing favor into the Bucks' side. They just got to remember to use MST because that's the shorthand for it. MST target the Magician Souls. Yep. MST. They're gonna target. You need to target the Eternal Soul here, which is not this card. They go all the way over to the other one. They're looking for it. No, they picked the wrong one.
So you're saying that they essentially had a way out, but because of
They probably had a way to win. Based on a couple other cards in graveyard, theoretically. But by choosing the wrong one, it's rough. So yeah, they needed to choose the trap card there instead of the circle.
Gotta read through everything, especially if you don't know.
how the other deck works.
Yeah. This will at least stop Dark Magician from being able to banish cards constantly, but they're going to summon a Dark Magician here, and they should be able to summon a Dark Magician girl as well. But I don't believe they'll have the zones to do so.
Oh yeah, they already have maxed out monsters.
Quanikia Magician. I've never seen this before. That's funny. Summon another Magician Rod to be able to get a card from deck to hand. Summon another Magician. Sure. Yeah, but if MST went off and hit the other trap card, you would just see a giant line across the screen on the Eclipse and just everything explode. Unfortunately, it did not happen there. House Dragon Mage grabbing Send Off. So what Send Off can do can return a Dragon Maid you control to hand to summon a different named Dragon Maid from your hand. So you're flipping their positions. You do this on your opponent's turn to try to trigger multiple effects multiple times, constantly building an advantage loop to summon big dragons, get tons of spells, all sorts of things. And looks like they're probably going to go into seals. They probably wanted to do this after combat because they could have gotten rid of either a Dark Magician or one of the Dark Magician girls. But what seals does is it lets them retribute a monster that they control and return a monster the opponent controls to hand. It has a second effect where if seals tributes itself, or it's tributed by any effect, it lets them summon any dragon from deck with an attack, but their attack becomes 0 and defense becomes 0.
Oh, okay. So.
So there's a joke in the Yu-Gi-Oh world about Seals Pass, where early on, decks like Dragon Link or Dragon Maid back in about like kind of 27, it wasn't really 27, whenever Seals came out, these decks were out. The joke was Seals Pass because it was weirdly really, really strong to just summon a Seals and then pass the turn. For some reason, decks at the time were low enough power level that they actually couldn't do anything about it. They're just going to use this changeover, though. Use that Seals as a way to get another monster out to be able to go into another house. So just one 3,000 attack point monster. They got to go to combat phase, but they got only 7 seconds on clock. Just going straight to the end phase. That's cool.
And then the second that clock runs out, and the game over for whoever.
Yeah. So
Magician of Chaos.
what's going to be rough here is the Eclipse is going to be able to activate that trap card, and they can either summon a Dark Magician, because Dark
There's
Magician.
a deck, yeah.
It won't actually summon from deck; it would be from graveyard. But all they would need to do is add either Dark Magic Attack or the Thousand Knives, and just destroy the opponent's monster.
Because that's what's keeping them from.
Yeah, because they just need a way to get out this 3,000 attack point monster.
And Dark Magician Circle. But since you can't summon anything else, right? That's how it works when you summon something, right? You can banish.
Yes, when you summon a Dark Magician or Dark
yeah.
Magician Girl. So they did find Dark Magic Attack off the top, which is kind of nice. Dark Magic Attack is the destroy all spell cards your opponent control. So it's 1,000 knives that they're looking for. You're gonna stack the deck, put the Dark Magic Attack on top, and interestingly, they're not activating this Eternal Soul. And just moving to combat, but they can't exactly out a 3,000 attack point monster.
What? Alright.
Wait.
Oh.
They're gonna activate this Eternal Soul.
I see.
Then summon the Dark Magician, use the Dark Magic Circle, banish the monster, and then have the full board of Dark Magicians to attack.
Okay.
Okay, that's another way to do it.
Like, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah, this should be game in a second, because summon Dark Magician. Yeah, this is why you do not leave this trap up, because this card generates a ton of advantage, and paired with the circle, banish the house, then swing for lethal. Swing for lethal. They're gonna do it. There they go. And seeing the interesting
nice.
Dark
And look at Pip-Boy. I don't know if Pip-Boy knows what he's doing, right?
Yeah. And so there's a few cards in Yu-Gi-Oh that when you kill an opponent with the card, have an interesting, like, a set animation. And Dark Magician was given that big blue light or purple blast.
Like-
It's quote unquote Dark Magic Attack.
Like when Exodia wins you the game.
And so I'm a hop off. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for
Alright.
commentating. Now we have Forza coming up. And a racing game that we get to see Chicken Tech versus Solo. Alright, and